The lake of fire is reserved for those who cling to Sunday lies. The Bible speaks of a coming judgment, a day when all people will stand before God and answer for their choices. Many believe that Sunday worship is acceptable, but does God accept false worship? What if the lake of fire is reserved for those who reject God's commandments in favor of man-made lies? Jesus himself warned that many who claim to follow him will be cast out. They will cry out, "Lord, Lord," but he will say, "I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity." Matthew 7:23. Will you be among those who are cast into the fire? Sunday worship, a man-made lie. The seventh-day Sabbath was established by God from creation and written in stone by his own finger. Genesis 2:2-3 says, "And on the seventh day God ended his work which he had made, and he rested on the seventh day. And God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it." This was not just for Israel, but for all humanity. The fourth commandment says, "Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. The seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God." Exodus 20:8-11. Yet the world follows Sunday worship, a tradition never commanded by Jesus or the apostles. If God never changed the Sabbath, who did? Who changed the Sabbath to Sunday? History proves that Sunday worship is a human invention. It was enforced by Emperor Constantine in AD 321 and later upheld by the Roman Catholic Church. The Catholic Church admits, "Sunday is our mark of authority." The Church is above the Bible, and this transference of Sabbath observance is proof of that. This is a direct rejection of God's law. But what does the Bible say about those who reject the truth? The lake of fire, the fate of those who reject God's law. Revelation gives a serious warning about false worship. Revelation 14:9-10. "If any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone." The mark of the beast is linked to false worship, worship that rejects God's commandments in favor of man's traditions. Jesus also warned in Matthew 13:41-42, "The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend, and them which do iniquity, and shall cast them into a furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth." What is iniquity? It is breaking God's law. Rejecting the Sabbath and following Sunday lies is lawlessness. Those who persist in this will face the lake of fire. The challenge to skeptics and non-believers. Now, here is the challenge. Can you find one verse where God changed the Sabbath to Sunday? Can you find one command from Jesus or the apostles instructing believers to worship on Sunday? You cannot. No such verse exists. Sunday worship is a deception, and those who refuse to repent risk eternal separation from God. The final warning, will you repent before it's too late? God is calling his people out of deception. He is calling them back to his true Sabbath. Time is running out. The lake of fire is reserved for those who cling to lies instead of obeying the truth. Jesus is calling. The truth has been spoken. What will you do with it? Choose today whom you will serve.